Add to the expanding manhunt for the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Police continue to search Central Park for clues both on land and in water. Elijah Westbrook joins us live from Central Park with more on where the investigation stands. Elijah.
Well, Mary and Chris, I'll tell you this. We're standing in this general area of Central Park this hour because there behind me near the Bethesda Fountain is where over the weekend we watched NYPD dive teams search the water for a potential gun that was used to kill CEO Brian Thompson. We know at this hour the search is expanding outside of New York City. This says the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward leading to an arrest, while the NYPD is offering a $10,000 reward. The search for the person of interest who police say shot and killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson continues this Monday morning. This as NYPD dive teams spent the weekend looking for the gun used to kill Thompson. The scene right near the iconic Bethesda Fountain here in Central Park. Police say that weapon is critical to the investigation because with it, detectives can potentially find out where it was purchased and who owned it. For now, police say the lack of concrete evidence is why they're referring to the man seen in these surveillance photos as a person of interest.
The event was obviously well planned out.
Police sources say the search is expanding to Greyhound bus stations between New York and Atlanta as they work to figure out where the man boarded the bus that brought him here to the city. The latest photos from the NYPD shows the person of interest with his mask on in the back of a taxi. But the most telling photo yet is this one, when he briefly lowered his mask to talk with an employee at the Upper West Side hostel where he had been staying, police say. Retired cop Tom Walsh had this to say.
I think his mistake was probably putting his mask down so that the whole world can see who he is.
On Friday, police discovered a backpack they believe belonged to that man. They say in it, a jacket was found. However, sources tell CBS News that it wasn't the one worn during the shooting. Fake Monopoly money was also found in the bag, but no gun.
They found the backpack here in Central Park, so it would only make sense that that's a good dumping ground for a gun.
And back out here live, police say the person of interest was last seen at the Port Authority bus terminal in Washington Heights about 45 minutes after the killing took place. We're live this morning here in Central Park. Elijah Westbrook, CBS News, New York.
Elijah, thank you. We'll be staying on top of the story as the manhunt continues. And for a closer look at the timeline of the investigation, just go to cbsnewyork.com.
قال الله يا باشا شعب عشان كداش طبعا سبحان أصغر من some people say shalom. And as you can see from the video that I brought up, the former UHC, which is the United Health Care insurance provider, he ended up getting shot by what appears to be a Edomite, from this photo here in this article. And him being the CEO of United Healthcare, he of course was the top earner within that company. And this article goes into how he has pretty much benefited in the most corrupt way possible. And it's not really too surprising to see that how Esau is just a corrupt devil in general, and how he really just moves and just preys privily upon the poor. Mainly when I mention the poor, I mention the nation of Israel, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. But it's sad to say that even Esau has his own people that are also poor too, and they also prey upon each other. Shows you how fucked up they are. But anyways, this article says, the title, murdered insurance CEO had deployed an AI to automatically deny benefits for sick people. And this is by Nora Al-Sabai on Thursday, December 5th, 2024 at 12:56 p.m. And the key takeaways I'll say from the article, this shows in the bulletproof. This is what AI generated from the key takeaways in the yahoonews.com. It says lawsuit against United Healthcare revealed use of AI algorithm with 90% error rate to deny claims to elderly patients, sparking outrage. Speculation arises that assassin of United Healthcare CEO may have been motivated by anger over insurers' aggressive denials of coverage. Shocking online reaction to CEO's murder highlights deep-seated anger towards American insurance and healthcare system. So let me just get a little bit more into the article. Seems like it's not much to cover, but decent and straight to the point. It says just over a year before the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was murdered this week in Midtown Manhattan, a lawsuit filed against the insurance giant he held revealed just how draconian its claim denying process had become. Last November, the estates of two former UHC patients filed suit in Minnesota alleging that the insurer used an AI algorithm to deny and override claims to elderly patients that had been approved by their doctors. The algorithm in question, known as NH-Predict, allegedly had a 90% error rate, and according to the families of the two deceased men who filed the suit, UHC knew it. As that lawsuit made its way through the courts, anger regarding the massive insurer's predilection towards denying claims has only grown, and speculation about the assassin's motives suggests that he may have been among those upset with UHC's coverage. Though we don't know the identity of the person who shot Thompson, nor his reasoning, reports claim that he wrote the words deny, defend, and depose on the shell casing of the bullets used to shoot the CEO. The message that makes it sound a lot like the killer was aggrieved against the insurance industry's aggressive denials of coverage to sick patients. Beyond the shooter's own motives, it's clear from the shockingly celebratory reaction online to Thompson's murder that anger about the American insurance and the healthcare system has reached the point of literal bloodlust, as the American prospector aptly put, in quote, only about 50 million customers of America's reigning medical monopoly might have a motive to exact revenge upon the United Healthcare CEO. An alarming cruelty of the claims around the company's AI algorithm. We asked the company whether it's still using it, but received no immediate reply. Perfectly illustrates why they're so angry. Wow. So, without further ado, I'll bring out some scriptures, and Lord willing, make this lesson edifying. So, let me start off with Psalms chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in the times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined." Right. And you see, one thing about Esau's devices is like, he got plans, strategies, tactics on how to privily set his eyes on the poor, how to trap Jake up, how to pretty much fuck over, Jake. And the funny thing is, he does it to his own people too, because, Sirach, the 10th chapter mentions about how a wise king destroyeth his own people. And this is what Esau does to his own, the ones that basically are low-level peons, your average, how do I put it, six-pack beer drinking Edomite, that wear the red MAGA hat, working the regular average jobs. This is what they do to their own people, and it really shows you how crooked Esau is. And the way this nigga went out, this is just pretty much a merciful killing. That he got shot point blank in Midtown Manhattan. That's crazy how usually in Manhattan you don't really see a lot of things like that going on. And he pretty much got shot in the morning in broad daylight, which is really fucked up. And verse 3 says, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth." Verse 4, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight." As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. See, that's the point right there. Because for the most part, these high level, executives in the company, this is the shit they do. They privily have their eyes set amongst the poor. Sad to say, even amongst their own people too, that are not on the same level as they are. And this is shit that they do. They pretty much find legal loopholes to fuck with Jake's money. Fucking with the average American citizen that don't know corrupt business tactics, that don't know how to move, in terms of being business savvy. Since people don't seem to have that type of knowledge, this is how they are able to, trick people. And, because he's a wealthy Edomite, he could most likely get away with this type of shit. And I mean, hey, it serves you right to get away any damn way, because this is your kingdom. Get the most you can, because you see, on the next side, your ass is gonna be in straight slavery, and you're gonna be forced to work. Then it's gonna be endless work for 1,000 years. So for Edomites like this, pretty much live it up and do the most scamming that you possibly can, because we approaching your end. And of course, once you step into our kingdom, there's gonna be nothing but straight hell for y'all. And verse 9 says, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by the strong ones. He hath said in his heart, Yahweh hath forgotten, he hideth his face, he will never see it. Right? And these Edomites, they feel as though, they come around, they got this nice ass smile, thinking that you could trust them. They probably got like little donations that they give here and there, just to show, they claim they giving back to the poor, but it's always a scheme and a trick behind what this devil may seem to look like he's doing for a good purpose and a good cause. It's always some bullshit that he had. You know what I'm saying? It's like he have a handshake he giving you, and you only see the hand that's shaking your hand, and it's like you don't see, the hand that he has behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like he got something up his sleeve that you don't know about. And let me bring out Proverbs chapter 28 verse 15. It says, as a wrong lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. And that's basically what Esau is. He's pretty much a raw lion and a raging bear. He's that wicked ruler amongst, the poor people. The scripture says what? When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. Here it is, you got people spending, God knows how much, only the Most High knows how much money they spending each month. Probably they got annual premiums, but they spending it, yearly, just to save on the monthly costs. Because usually when you pay for an annual fee as opposed to the monthly fee, they reduce the cost and you save a certain amount each month. When you pay an annual on one shot, but when you pay monthly, you end up paying more. When you do the price comparison, you pretty much multiply it by the months and all that shit, and compare it to the annual cost instead. You'll see the difference. And you expect the insurance to be somewhat of a potential investment to some degree, Because let's say, for instance, you get into an accident, you get sick, you get into certain situations and things can happen, and then you put in a claim and your doctor approved for the claim, and then you mean to tell me that the company trying to deny the claim, or because of some AI bullshit that they using to fuck with the algorithm to find a way to pretty much finesse and play with these people that actually have submitted claims that were actually legit claims too at that. See, that's the bullshit. And I just want to say this out, just to put this out there. All you fucking Edomites, you so-called white people that feel like you want to fuck with Jake, you still feel like you want to fuck with the nation of so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. You want to do all this corrupt shit to Jake. Continue. I'm just saying, because you're gonna go out worse than this guy did. And you're gonna have more people that's gonna really take the risk to end up trying to find where you Edomites are at, and they're gonna end up trying to run up on you and blast you, trying to rob you for what you got. Because as you can see what that guy did, which he appeared to be an Edomite from what they're saying that the suspect could be. For you to pretty much take the risk of shooting a CEO that happens to be an Edomite at that, you really don't have much to live for. Because you shooting a wealthy Edomite, they got the protection on this side, and pretty much just for regular manslaughter you're looking at 25 years of prison. So, and probably for shooting a wealthy Edomite you may spend longer time in prison. And that's the time period that we coming into, because scripture says that iniquity should abound, the love of many is waxing cold. And in these end times you're gonna have more people like that crashing out, becoming more wicked than ever as times get harder. And a lot of you fucking CEOs, I ain't gonna hold y'all, a lot of y'all be really behind, fucking a lot of people over within your organizations, downsizing it and then laying people off, not even helping people to like hook them up with other jobs. So like trying to see if you could get them employment somewhere else. You just get rid of them like their lives don't really matter. You feel me? And that shit right there is really fucked up, because everybody got a life. And I'm not gonna hold you, that unemployment insurance money and the benefits that Esau could temporarily give you, after you lost a good paying job, it's not gonna be much to pretty much cover your expenses that you once had and then your liabilities. Then with all the other liabilities that you have, like loans that you gotta pay back, probably mortgage that you gotta pay back each month, car note, pretty much car insurance, and just so much expenses and liabilities that you too much to list. It's like all that shit's gonna pretty much be backed up on you, and now you lost a good paying job. So you might even have to look forward to maybe giving up those decent, luxurious items that you once were able to afford. Because one thing about an average American is they like to live above their means, and like to live a bougie lifestyle. And a lot of people ain't really used to that type of struggle of going from living up and living in good with a decent paying job to now they get fired from that or laid off. Now they gotta end up working somewhere else that's not paying them as much. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see, or find out if a CEO like this guy has pretty much fucked over a lot of people that was working for his company. And you get rid of them, like all the labor that they put into the company don't mean shit anymore. Eventually that causes people to crash out, and they eventually pretty much lose, almost everything they worked so hard for. Probably lose their home, lose their car, and then eventually they go homeless. Potentially that could happen because of them losing their good job. And of course, as the saying goes, once they have nothing left to lose, they lose it. That's why Micah chapter 2 verse 10 says, "The right to eat the part for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." Right? And if that alone will show you right there that shit, you put in a claim, you expected to get a certain amount of money, expected to get it truly insured by the benefits that you were promised. If that alone don't show you why you should hate America, aka Babylon the Great, I don't know what the hell could, because that's just pure fucking wickedness. And one thing that's crazy is, like, I really found it crazy how Esau could go as far as trying to make it seem like Jake are the criminals, Jake be the scammers, Jake be, the whole nine of basically of a thug. This image that they like to paint on the mainstream media about so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, right? And how they would say how Jake likes to rip off the system. But yet here it is, you got Edomites like this doing this amongst the poor people. This type of shit, Jake can't legally get away with, Like, when has you ever seen Jake own a legal business and actually getting away with this type of murder? And only the Most High knows how many years this nigga been getting away with this shit. But no matter what Esau do on this side, like, you got a real hefty price to pay in the kingdom. And who knows if that person that happened to had shot him in Midtown Manhattan happened to be one of those people who was related to someone who was denied of such benefits for being sick. It could be a potential chance, you never know. But just a message to you Edomites, you keep fucking around with Jake, and their money, because a lot of y'all seem to want to fuck with Jake financially, and you just want to try to fuck with Jake period. Scriptures say that how the Most High is gonna rouse up that spirit, within the nation of our people, starting with Judah, of course. He also mentioned in the scriptures how Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. So, just keep fuck around, they say, fuck around, find out. And you Edomites, that's finna, what's finna happen to you in the times to come. Keep fucking around with Jake. You're gonna find out how much the Most High gonna really put the spirit in Jake to really unleash their terror upon you. And of course, the worst form of that terror is, when that spiritual power comes, when the Lord makes his elect get that spiritual power. Because at that point, when scriptures say how the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, that's what you're going to look forward to in the time that Jake basically, the elect, of course, is going to go as far as taking back everything you fucking stole from us, and then putting your ass in captivity, upon the Lord's second coming, of course. So with that, maybe that's edifying, to give all glory, praise, honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rukakadash, double honors of the apostle, Elsbeth Milson, peace, sensation, hope, full life, shalom.